Okay, this video is one of probably a lot that are going to be coming up dealing with what has been different about this weight loss effort this time around. I'm coming up on a year on being with Weight Watchers or joining Weight Watchers and therefore being on some sort of program for a year. And I'm coming up rapidly on 100 pounds. And tonight, um, there are so many things that attribute to that. Of course, I did the work, but there are so many things that attribute to it. And a big one came up tonight. I went to the online weight loss conference, and Melissa, who is awesome, mentioned that I had lost 100 pounds. And I said, that's unofficial until Weight Watchers, until I weigh in on that scale. My entire year, I have said that. People say, how much did you lose? And I'll be like, unofficially, this much last time I weighed in. Officially, this much. And they're like, what's the difference? The difference is that it's not official until Weight Watchers sees it. So there have been times when I've weighed in lower and then wound up having to eat that because at Weight Watchers I was higher. And there have been times when I've weighed in higher and then been happy because by the time I got to Weight Watchers, it had gone away. And that is kind of how I could justify weighing myself so many times throughout the week, was that none of it actually mattered until I weighed in at Weight Watchers. So when she said that I had lost 100 pounds, I was like, yeah, unofficially. She was like, oh, I don't care if Weight Watchers knows it or not. And it was like, yeah, part of me feels the same way. But I don't feel like it would be fair to change that rule just because I'm at the threshold. And I think that mindset right there is one of the biggest ones that has helped me through this entire thing, is holding myself accountable every step of the way. There has been no letting things go, letting things slide, letting things, like, none of it. Even the times that I have ventured off plan have been carefully planned ventures. And I think that, like, it's important to realize that in this battle, you are the only person there. And I'm not saying that support doesn't help. It does. And I have amazing supports, and I have you guys. But in the end, the only person who can win it or lose it is you. And the only person you're cheating if you decided to, like, let things slide is you. Really. I can't tell you how many times I've been on the treadmill and been like, well, it's been 25 minutes. Do I really have to do 30? I can honestly tell you that for the past however long, like, I'll have to look it up, whenever I started doing the whole 30 minutes a day, 3 times a week, every week, I have done 30 minutes or more. I have never turned it off a minute early. And there have been many times I wanted to, but it was like, no, no. Like, because you do it once and it becomes easier to turn it off a little earlier next time. I have never skipped a weigh-in video since I started. And there were times I didn't want to make a video because I gained. Or, there were times I've never skipped a weigh-in since I started. There were times I didn't want to weigh in because I felt like to let myself slide just that little bit, it's like, once I give that up, like, once I lie to you guys, what's the point? I can no longer use it as a tool for myself, because it's like the tool has been broken. Once I skip a weigh-in, it's like, well, I can just do that again next week. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just so many times when the only person that's going to hold you accountable is you in this, And it's like, it's funny how you think about lying about how long you worked out. Like, I don't want to tell my girlfriend I didn't do, my wife now, but back then, my girlfriend, I didn't do 30 minutes, well, I could just lie to her. Why? Why am I okay with possibly lying to her, like, I don't want to disappoint her, but I'm okay with disappointing myself. That's ridiculous, you know? So I think that one of the biggest things that went into this year was true and actual accountability. And every step of the way, from my workouts to my food, tracking, like, seriously, it has been accountability. Boom, 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 every step of the way. It's been wild. Um, so yeah, I have to say, it's like boxing. You can have people in your corner. You can watch the tapes of your opponent. You can gather information and have support. But you step into the ring and it's just you. And I think the hardest thing about this war is that you're fighting the ultimate enemy. You're fighting yourself. And nobody knows you better. Nobody knows your weaknesses better. Nobody can hurt you the same way emotionally. Nobody can say the mean things that you can say. Like, nobody can defeat you anywhere near as hard or fast as you can defeat yourself. And that's what makes this like the ultimate war. Because nobody can help. They can't get into the ring for you. And you're fighting yourself. So just as hard as you're fighting for it, you're fighting against it. And that's an amazing truth. And when you actually realize it, it will help unlock some of it, because it's like, if you're fighting yourself, you can turn that off. It's kind of like knowing you're dreaming and being able to stop a bad dream. But it doesn't just make it go away. It is still a fight every step of the way.